I'd like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, and I finally got the holiday update from Tesla, which is brilliant. So I have a brand new UI and I'm just starting to try and get to grips with it. So I thought I'd do a short video to show people what it looks like on a 2017 Model S Tesla. My car's been updated to MCU 2 and hardware 3, and that was a paid upgrade. I got this holiday update 1 week after my partner, who has a 2019 Model 3. Unfortunately, I don't get the light show. My car's a little bit too old, which I'm a bit miffed about, but I'm fairly sure I can live without it. So without further ado, let me show you some of the new UI on a vertical Tesla screen. Let's walk through these release notes. We've got a customizable app launcher, which allows you to drag and drop your favorite apps. Waypoints were added in a previous release, but we've now got the ability to edit those waypoints. Sonic the Hedgehog game, Battle of Polytopia with multiplayer support, another game, Sudoku, a subwoofer extra adjustment tweak which is available in the media player. There are some cold weather improvements for preconditioning. There's some extra manageability for dash cam clips. You can switch the screen into a dark themed mode rather than the white background. And you can simplify your navigation. Now, initially it looks like not a lot has changed at the top of the screen. Some of the icons look a little bit different, and the lightning bolt for finding chargers has disappeared from this list here. This one, if I zoom out just a little bit, it switches on and off levels of detail on the map. So you see things like the hospital there in the middle with an H. You see that appear and disappear if you don't want the detail on. The lightning bolt that's gone from over here has moved to over here under Navigate. You can now see that you've got a home address, a work address, and a list of charging options. If you tap charging, it automatically comes up with superchargers. As you can see, there is a great big long list there. And you can also navigate to third-party chargers, which is this double lightning bolt one here. If I switch off the superchargers, you'll be able to see them much easier. These are the third-party lower powered chargers, and then also you can go even further and select just destination chargers, which are some of them as simple as a home charger sort of power, and some of them are a bit more high powered because they might have 3-phase. So if I switch that one on, switch these ones off so you can see them. So these are sort of the local destination chargers. Let's have a quick look at how you do waypoints, and in particular how you might decide to edit your waypoints. So I'm going to choose to navigate. I'm going to choose some of the places we've been to recently. So I'm going to go to Snow Zone in Milton Keynes.
Drive southeast on A417 for 1.4 miles.
But I'm then going to say that actually I want to edit this trip, and I want to come back via a Tesla service centre. But I can see it's got it in the wrong order, so I need to edit the trip, and then I am going to go to Snow Zone first and the Tesla service centre second. Let's see what it makes of that.
Drive southeast on A417 for 1.4 miles.
So here you go, there's a couple of really useful bits of information that have popped up there. It's reminding me that we need the CCS adapter to be able to supercharge on the route it's suggesting, and it's also plotted the round trip under here. On settings, you have the navigation settings, which you would otherwise have to go into the car setup for. quite a lot of change has gone on down at the bottom of the screen. As you can see, this bottom bar here is totally different. So you've now got this concept of my favourite apps. Things are coloured, which draws your eye to them a little bit more. These are your previous apps that you've used. So if I open this up, you can actually customise which apps you show here. And to do that, for instance, if you don't want Spotify and you do want TuneIn, if you tap on Spotify and get rid of it, and you can then go find TuneIn, and if you long press on it, it pops out, and then you can drag it down here and you can position it where you want to position it, and that's it. You close this and you've now got TuneIn, I've got telephone and the Energy app. If I want to switch that back to Spotify, I hit the ellipsis, grab Spotify, bring it down here, I can tap the cross to get rid of TuneIn. I think you can have 4 items down here, so I would possibly put arcade down here. That's something that we might play around with while we're supercharging. There we go. One thing I have noticed is that the seat heaters that used to be down here and sort of one tap away, they're now underneath the air conditioning. If you want to pull up a quick tab to put on a heated seat just for the driver, and if you tap the up arrow, it brings up a small screen. So if you double tap this one, you get the front defrost, which, as you can see, has set this to max and is now blowing furiously. I'm going to switch that off. If you tap this one, it's the rear defrost, switches on the rear heated screen and the heated wing mirrors. Switch that off, and then obviously you've got your seat, which is just the driver's seat, so you can cycle through however many slices of bacon you would like your bottom to be warm, and then you can either split or unsplit the air conditioning. As you can see, that switches on manual on both sides. This one brings up the full screen controls where you can access all of the different controls. And on here we've now got schedule, which is scheduled departure. So if you like having your car toasty warm at 8:30 every morning to leave to go to work, then that's where you set this up. Standard controls here, which is bioweapon defense mode. This is my seat heater. This is preheating the windscreen for if it's icy. It keeps your windscreen wipers defrosted. You can set the heated seats all around the car usual way, just tapping on the seats. You get 1, 2, 3 bacons. You've got your keep the air conditioning on, go into dog mode, use camp mode, switch everything off, switches off all of your seat heaters and everything. At the top, you standard controls. You've got a windscreen and a rear window defrost, recirculate, fan speed, air conditioning on and off, where you want it to blow. I tend to keep it on auto and just let the car sort it all out, keep the temperature at a constant temperature, and I don't have any problems with fogging up or misting up or anything. Let's have a look at the music controls next, because those have changed as well. So I've got Spotify running here. This brings up what's coming up next, what your sources are, where you might want to go next. This is your search. This is the sort of mix it up shuffle icon. I haven't actually found where the repeat icon is yet. Perhaps that one has been removed. If anybody knows where that is, maybe put a comment down below, let me know, as I certainly haven't found it yet. And then this icon here is to the tone balance and options. You tone is for your bass, treble. Balance is standard move it around the car. Underneath options, you've got whether you allow explicit content or not. It's interesting that this only affects Tidal. I'd like to see that control on Spotify as well. The allow mobile control is kind of funny. I think my partner switched it off because my little boy likes messing around with it in the app. It means that you can skip tracks and change the volume when somebody else is driving the car. So to get into your liked songs these days, tap on this liked songs bit. That brings you up a Spotify interface, and you can then scroll through your liked songs, your recently played, playlists, artists, albums, etc. You can also switch what you would like to play from by tapping this, and you can see. So I think this is slightly more cumbersome to get around, but I think you've got more information on the screen once you get there. From this screen you can also jump to different sources as well by tapping the sources word, and that brings up your available sources. So for instance, I'm currently in Spotify, but I can jump across to TuneIn. That brings up the TuneIn interface, so you can then go into your podcasts and radio. And again, if you want to swap to a different source, you can use the drop down, or you can minimize the screen. That takes you back to the sources. You can then go back to Spotify, choose something else. So you choose the daily mix, start playing that, minimize it, goes back to sources again. You can go to what's coming up next. There are some interesting changes under the car icon. So, you've got this charging one, which has got some slightly different stuff on it. So instead of having the scheduled charge start down at the bottom bar, that's now jumped up onto this page. So this is where you would now set a scheduled charge. So it's either on or off, and you just set a charge start time, which I did cover in a previous video, but now obviously it's moved. You've also got your latest supercharging and some supercharging tips, which is a pop-up, I think. Where we have got something new and exciting is down in the arcade and entertainment. We now have Sonic the Hedgehog. Because I've got an MCU upgrade on my car, I've got all of the theatre available. Now I've got Netflix, YouTube, Twitch, and obviously video tutorials from Tesla. In the arcade, I've now got Polytopia multiplayer apparently, Sonic the Hedgehog, Sudoku, Skyforce, my other half assures me is a good fun game, Solitaire, Cat Quest, Fallout Shelter is quite good fun to play, Stardew Valley, Backgammon, Cupheads, Beach Buggy, chess. My little boy is currently being taught chess by the car. That was a very quick gallop through some of the stuff that I've discovered in the new UI. I'm sure I've missed loads. If there's anything in particular that's causing you trouble, or that you've spotted that I've missed that you think is interesting, just drop a comment below, and hopefully the new UI rolls out to everybody soon and everybody really enjoys it. Well, that's it from me for this video. If you've got any ideas about videos you'd like me to do in the future, just drop me a line. And all that remains to be said is I hope everybody has a very happy new year, and see you all again in 2022.